Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be continuing our HK45 from Tokyo Marui upgrade video. We'll be upgrading this guy a little bit further than we had from where we left off last time. So before we get started on today's video, please, if you like the content today, please subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification icon. And if you like the video in particular, please hit the like button, as that will help us with the YouTube algorithm. So before we get started, let's kind of recap on where we left off. So last time we upgraded the outer barrel to an RA-Tech outer barrel with a counterclockwise thread and a 14mm one at that. We upgraded the inner barrel with a maple leaf crazy jet barrel, and then we upgraded the hot bucking. We also upgraded the hammer spring for this gun with a Leilax hammer spring. That's pretty much all we did last time, but we've actually got quite a lot to do today, as we've had quite a few parts arrive from Japan and elsewhere. So let's go through some of these parts and see where they're going. So one of the first things we'll be looking at is this Leilax 9-ball Teflon coated recoil spring. This will be going in the slide here. We will also be potentially changing the nozzle. We think we talked about this one last time. This is an enhanced nozzle from Garda for the HK45. And that should replace the one that's already in here. The other thing that we may replace if we do the nozzle is this the valve in the nozzle, and that will be replacing that with one of these. Now I have two. I have a red and a golden, and these are ice pick valves from Poseidon. And these should improve the gas efficiency of the gun. So what we will do is, I think I'm going to go for the red one. Then we're also, and I think I mentioned this last time, we're going to add this Dyna piston head wide from Leilax 9-ball, and that's basically going to go in the piston in and around the nozzle, and essentially replace the existing one. Now, the next piece is this. This is a detonator slide. This is a CNC metal slide. This is the part I've actually been waiting for a while. This is essentially a replacement slide for this gun. And effectively, we will have this replace this slide here. And essentially we will, in the process of fitting that, be fitting everything else, because we're going to have to take what's in here out to go in here. So we will actually use that as a reason to actually change some of these things. We also have these, which are DCI Guns sights. These are their hybrid sights with dots and fibre. And these are for the HK45. For some reason I bought two, and I don't know why. So we'll be using these sights in the new slide, and hopefully they will fit. So the other thing we've got, just in case the RA-Tech slide doesn't quite work with the detonator slide, is we bought a detonator out barrel, which is essentially the same sort of barrel as this, except it's one made by a detonator, so it's guaranteed to fit this. The detonator slide that we bought actually came with its own metal outer barrel, and we won't be using this. So we won't be actually using that with the slide that we've got. So first things first, let's break this down and then start looking at putting the parts together. So let's get the magazine out. And then let's break up the upper from the slide from the lower frame, and pop that out. We won't be doing anything on this, so we'll pop this to one side. And then we'll be working on this guy here. So we need to kind of remove the recoil spring first off. And that pops out like so. And we'll change the recoil spring on this first because it's quite an easy change to do. And then we'll start, but we'll disassemble everything and get everything pulled apart. One of the things you do need to do is remember to take this off. So we get the hop and the outer barrel out. We won't be working on these unless we have to switch to this guy here. So I'm going to pop that on one side because we probably won't need that. Now we have to effectively break this guy down, and this is the main thing to pull apart. So we'll come to that one in a mo, but let's actually get this recoil spring sorted. So this is quite an easy change. If we just slide this back with those washers, we'll see there's a little clip that sort of just goes in like so, and just make sure to catch all the bits. We've got the washers, we've got the little I say plastic cup that the spring just sort of sits in. Keep those to one side, and then we've got our rod and so on, and then let's pull out our spring. Very easy thing to swap over. We will pop the old. What you do is just check, compare these two springs. They are the same length. This is a little bit harder than the original. So we'll be swapping this out, and that will basically give us a slightly better recoil. So just pop this on like so, and take that, pop that over, and we need to just hold that back, put this on, and just slide that back. And that is how to swap the recoil spring. Very, very easy to actually get that done. We'll grease that when we put it back in a little while. So next job is kind of work on this slide. So what do we need to do with here? Well, we need to do this screw here, and hopefully that will mean that we can just drop everything out. So let's grab our trusty iFixit toolkit, and we want what are we using here? We are using a J1 Phillips head screwdriver thing. That's a little bit too big. Let's try the next size down, which is a PH1 actually. This is again. Let's do the screw, being very careful not to actually damage the screw head. One of the things I've noticed with Tokyo Marui guns is the screws are very soft. So this is a plastic slide, and I already felt part of the thing fly off and hit me. So I'm not sure it went. So this is the actual slide, and effectively that's that removed. And there is a plastic part that has wandered off. So one of the things I'm going to do whilst I'm just in here is check there are no additional parts here that will actually be that, and we don't, so we will need to locate that. So we will be right back whilst I go and look for the part that flew off. Okay, so I've located the wayward part. It is just a little piece of plastic which will fit in the spring like so. And that will probably go against one of the pieces of metalwork in here. We'll need to sort of figure out that. So I'll just give it a wipe because there's just fluff and crap from the floor that it went on. So one of the things I just need to sort of almost kind of validate is where that was in the nozzle housing in relation to how the nozzle was in there. And okay, so this spring goes in this hole here, and that would then obviously pop in the top there. This goes into here like so, and so that spring will butt up against this point here. So I think that's that fine. So this is the nozzle. One of the things we need to do is I need to actually figure out how this actually fits in. Let's have a look inside this guy here. So okay, so a lot of the Tokyo Marui nozzles, they have inside a kind of a plastic sleeve that goes inside here and holds the nozzle in place, and then they have a screw that comes in and holds that in place, so the nozzle can move back and forth. This one is slightly different. It uses a pin which seems to go through the nozzle and holds the valve back. So I need to knock that out, and I actually don't know if I've got a pin punch small enough to push that through. So that is actually not one of my standard tools. I'm just wondering if I've got in my backup set one that is a bit smaller. So this is my backup set. I don't really use this one because I don't like them. Some of them have a little odd end bit, but this one I think will go through. Now the problem with these is basically knowing how these are being fixed in place. They sometimes use these kind of serrated kind of ends that kind of grip into the plastic. You kind of got to know if you push it wrong way. And I was kind of lucky there. So you go from what is effectively left to right as you are holding it with the nozzle pointing away from you. You will get this pin. I'm just going to catch all the bits. This is the nozzle. This is the standard Tokyo Marui nozzle. That's how it kind of goes in there. So what we'll do is we'll take the guarder nozzle, and we will take the red ice pick valve and get this out of its packaging. This is potentially going to be a long video today, partly because we've got a lot to do, and it's one of these videos that basically, yes, you could do this in multiple parts, but there's a lot of stuff in the same vicinity. So the red valve has this little O-ring just here, and just pop that on. It's very, very small, so let's see if we can get that closer. Little red valve with the O-ring. It's very different looking. It's a bit bigger gap than the original. The sort of air hole is quite a bit bigger, but we'll see how that works. Let's just compare that to the I I've not been able to really see the difference between the gold and the red, to be honest. Then we just drop this in here and it should go in the center. Now the key thing is making sure the spring gets in the right spot, and then what we need to do, essentially, we're going in from the right to the left like we did before. I'm not going to push this through all the way, I'm just going to give this a tap to get it positioned. And then I can get, oops, I think I pushed that in a little bit too far. So kind of got to push the valve down and then tap that through. Hopefully it's ahead of the valve. So that's kind of caught that nicely. We are going to just tap that through. And we have to get that flush. So what I might use is this one, which is a bit bigger. Don't want to hit it too hard, but I do want to get the pin flush so it doesn't catch on anything, and it isn't actually. It's really, yeah, that's fine, that's nice and flush. What I'm going to do is just drop a little bit of lube in there. Partly to get the O-ring that's on the actual thing. I should have sprayed that before I put that in, but that's that. I'll just pop that to one side because I don't need those anymore. I might need that, but so that is the old valve. This is the new valve. What I'm going to do is we're going to grease this up a little bit. So I'm going to basically might as well use my fingers. There's a bit of grease inside. That's going to get pushed around when we get everything set up. We'll also do some stuff on the outside as well. Make sure it's all lubed everywhere, to be honest. And we'll spray this as well with some spray lube. But just this for the moment, just to get it all covered and everything else. And so this is going to go in here like so, but I shouldn't have done that because I've wasted some of the thing. So we're popping the old piston off. The old piston has this screw in the middle which we need to remove, and it's a bit tight. Really, we won't be using this screw again, so I think this screw is getting a bit chewed up, but first few, I think so, it's not bad. So I just need to wipe my hands. So that's that. So we need the 9-ball Dyna piston head, and one of the things I need to just double check is there's 2 screws with this guy, and this will actually tell you which screw to use. So we use the longer version of the screw. That is the one for the HK45. It's also the one that happens to be the best one to use for the USP Compact if you want to use the same piston on that gun, because the actual packaging doesn't say it supports the USP, however it does, so that is a bonus. So the wide piston head is designed for the newer the newer TM pistols, which have the wider chamber. So this guy goes on. We've got some holes around the edge on this side. These go facing outwards, and then we screw in that way. And that goes popped on there. What we need to just do is coat the outside of this and its O-ring with a bit of silicone grease. Get it all lubed up. And again, my fingers are covered in grease. And then we pop that in there. And that should just go there. Somewhere I can just hold that there. And then I need my screwdriver. And then we just screw this in. Nice and easy. Much easier than getting the other one. If you mess up or lose this screw, you can theoretically use the other one. However, this is flat. So it's flat to the head of this. It actually is recessed a little bit. It doesn't necessarily hurt the efficiency of the gun, because I had to do that on my M&P 9. However, if you can avoid it, use that screw. So we've got this guy. Pop that into here and slide. What I'm going to do is do a bit of a movement. This is just getting the lube that I put around inside all moved up and down all over the piston and everything else, and we are all happy. So I'm also going to just lube this guy up. So all I do with that is just dip it in the thing, and then I need to find the spring, which is suitably small and has run away. What I generally do with this is actually quite crafty. I take it and do both sides by basically pushing it onto there, and then I put the really busy end on the inside, and that basically lubes that channel, and that will just get pushed in when you drop the slide in. But before we get to that point, we need to do the sights. So we're going to open up a pack of these sights, and we are going to drop these on the gun. And these are from DCI guns. They are for the HK45. They're quite nice. And I don't see the screws. Where are the screws at? Oh, this pack didn't have any screws in them. This pack did. Interesting. Okay. So there's no screw hole here. However, there are two screw holes here. So the idea would be this would go in like so, and we just need to get that properly positioned, and then we'd just fasten up the two screws. That is a really tiny screw head, so for those we need a J00 to be able to put that in. And then we just screw that in. Taking care not to damage the screw. It is slipping a little bit. I don't think that's the right screwdriver for this. I've kind of got I might need to use a P0, a PH00. Let's tighten that up. basically got that tightened up. We'll put on the front sights last, and then we just have to kind of zero them essentially. But that's kind of those sights on, and they look pretty nice on top there. There's nothing really else on this. There is this piece which has just fallen off, but kind of need to figure out, because we have pieces here which we need to look at. So there is a manual to this, and I'm kind of doing most of this actually. I say manual, it is a very, very small information sheet. It's all in Japanese, so hence I've kind of just gone from the takedown of this and kind of replicated as much as I can. So the pieces I kind of need to look at are, is this a thing? This came from the original slide, or do we just need to worry about these pieces? Now, one of these is this piece here, which I think goes in this piece here. This is what is effectively kind of the ejection, something to do with the injection system in the real gun, that basically goes here. Now on the USB Compact it had a little spring. This doesn't appear to have a little spring. Effectively that goes in there and just goes there. I don't see a spring for that, and I'm not seeing anything in there that implies that I have to screw it into place. So that is okay then. So this guy we do have to screw into place, and what we'll do, we should have two screws for this, and it kind of goes in like so. So this is the long plate with the two screw holes, and we've got these tiny screws again. Kind of hoping this is the right thing. I might actually go a size lower if I've got a size lower. I don't think I've got a size lower actually. Oh no, we might have a size. We have a size lower. Yeah, that feels better. And then that can go in there. We just screw those in. So we've got an extra screw in there, which is good, just in case we lose one. These are very, very small screws. And then we should be good there. And then what we need to do is drop this guy in and push back that as we drop it down. Hopefully we don't have him fly off into the sunset again, because that would be annoying. And that's now flush in there. And okay, that doesn't move, that's fine. And we just need to pop that screw back. So take the screw from earlier, and I need this screw. and we will hopefully, actually I've just realised there was 2 black screws that came in this package, and I'm wondering actually if these are the screws to screw this in place. Oh wow, they are Allen key head. They are not. So those need a 1.5 Allen key head. Yep, those are the screws for this hole. Okay, so that's kind of that bit reassembled. We can the spring is not actually and that's in there. We might have to go back to the original valve if that's super tight and that's not locking back, but we'll give it a try and see what happens with the test fire. So we can slide this back in. This is the original RATech thing. That does actually fit. It does move. Then the recoil spring that we kind of drop in. We will give everything a bit of a spray. Lube everything up. And we've got quite a bit more weight now in this slide. And what we need to do is just pop the slide catch back. I just need to get it in the right place, and it's one of these fiddly ones that never get this in, because you have to hold it in a specific spot and then get that into the right spot and push down, and then we'll do our mag. No BBs. Not sure. Is that mag dead? No, that mag is not dead. Oh, that is stiff. So that has not returned to position. So it doesn't fire. Something somewhere is not playing ball. That is unfortunate. Something not sure what gas I've got in this. Let's pop in some Garda Black. That's a bit of a stronger gas. Still not coming forward enough. So it's just something not quite worked in all of that, which is unfortunate. So let's pull this back and just debug this a little bit. Let's see what we've got. So I'm running, just seeing if there's any signs of kind of wear or anything else. Let's get everything on the slide, on the inside, kind of lubed. It could be rubbing, just so there's just something. Let's pop that back, see if that helps. That seemed to move a bit more freely. The gas is too heavy. Let's go with the lighter green gas. So, a couple of little things. There needs to be a bit more lubing on this slide. There is a bit of friction in there that's kind of causing things to come on, get a little bit of motion that's just slowing down the slide. So let's just pop that off. So I'm going to put a bit of the grease on here and on here. It just feels like there is a bit of kind of, yeah, this, because this is all dry, it just kind of needs something. Let's just help it move along a little bit more smoothly. Sometimes you get this with the metal slides, they just need a bit of extra lubrication just to kind of get things moving, so that basically everything just moves smoothly. You've got a lot of it's essentially metal on metal, and you don't want that. I need to get that into the right place. So this is metal, and you don't want it kind of wearing and biting on that too much. And we'll pop this back. And then we'll try it with a bit of shoot. Did that gas go? I think the gas is too cold. I'm not 100% about this valve, to be honest. The valve is not kind of working. It's when I press this, the valve on here, it's very hard. So what I'm going to do is probably investigate this a little bit further, because we're not getting gas flow, rather than basically go for too much longer on this video. I will sort of call it there, and we'll maybe do a follow-up with a bit of a kind of a recap and actually have a diagnose of what's going on. But what we'll do is actually whilst we're here is pop those sights on. So at least we've got some sights on it, and it kind of looks good. I always get that the wrong way. So what I'm going to just do is pop all the bits in the bag. So we've got some friction somewhere in the mechanism that we need to investigate. It could be a couple of things. It could be the nozzle, because the nozzle was sticking a little bit when I was putting it in. It could be the slide on the actual frame. So that could be another potential sticking point. So what I'm going to do is probably have a look at this off camera and have a figure things out, and then sort of do a follow-up where we look at what's going on. So this is the sort of completed. This is the sort of completed piece. However, we do have some issues which we need to iron out. I need to investigate a little bit further. So there is the slide when it's firing is very slow to move. It could be the spring's not strong enough to recoil it back into place. It could be there's some friction. This is a Leylac spring. I'm not sure the percentage strength of the spring, so I need to investigate that and find out if there's a stronger spring that we could use that can move this slide. I might try a stock one as an option. I do have a spare, a complete spare stock housing. Or it could just be something catching, sort of like the nozzle or whatever. But effectively what I'm going to do is essentially do this a bit offline, kind of check some things out, run a few bits and pieces through, warm up the gas as well, see if it being a bit warmer will actually make it cycle. I mean, that cycled, that gas is a little bit warmer, but it felt a bit limp. So we'll have a little play and see what's what. But we've kind of done the main of the upgrade. We might have to play around with things a little bit more and see what's going on. It could be the valve that we put in. The valve's not letting gas out, that sort of thing. So we'll play around with things and probably do those off camera and then kind of report back with a little catch-up video at the end once I've kind of got things sorted. But with that, thanks for watching. I know this has been a bit of a long video today. Hope you stayed to the end, because we've got some challenges on this pistol that we need to iron out. So there will be a follow-up video once I've kind of ironed those out, and then go over what I've done to address the issues. But there are a few things there. So if you like the video, please hit the like button. And with that, thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking to the end. If you've got this far, see you guys next time.